Hello, my name is Eric and welcome to a beginner's leg day routine for upright Bowflexes. I'll be working out on a Bowflex Xceed. You can do this routine on an XTREME or a PR3000. If you have a flat bench style Bowflex, we'll check out the links in the description for that. So today's routine is going to feature 7 different exercises, 24 sets in total. And as a beginner, you might be like, whoa, 24 sets, that's way too much. All you have to do is just give me your best effort and follow along with me. We are going to have a clock here counting down all of our sets where we're going to be working for 25 seconds, and then we're going to have a rest interval and then get back into it. We're going to have a few breaks that are a little bit longer throughout today's routine where you can towel off or get a drink of water as well. All of our lifts are also going to be demoed on the screen before we get into each. So all you have to do is just give me your best effort and you can do this. So you're going to need some extra gear today for this routine as well. And the first is going to be this leg extension attachment, and I just removed this because we won't be using this until the very end, and it's going to be in the way until then. So go ahead and set that aside. Another piece of equipment, this is totally optional, is ankle straps. And ankle straps are basically Velcro straps that go around your ankle, and they have a little clip here so you can clip directly on to your Bowflex resistance, and that's great for a little bit more control and just kind of an upgraded experience. But I'll have links to all that in the description, and purchasing those all support the channel. Totally optional though. And finally, the other piece of gear you're going to need is a chair or maybe a ladder or something to lean up against. So a couple of our lifts today, we're going to be a little bit away from the Bowflex, and we are going to be pulling the weight in towards this chair, and we're going to need it to balance basically. So grab something like that, and that is all we're going to need today for our gear. So let me tell you how the rest of this video is going to go. We're going to have a 4-minute warm-up, and then we're going to rack up our resistance. Now, I might be changing my resistance only once throughout this entire routine, but you can adjust the resistance from lift to lift based on your body and whatever suits your needs. So once you have the resistance racked up, we're going to get into the whole routine. So our work intervals and our rest intervals, and we're also going to have a few breaks in there. So I hope you join me for this routine. I hope you have fun. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you right back for the warm-up. All right, our first exercise today is going to be some high knees. And a high knee is just basically an exaggerated march. Bring those knees up to about chest height so we can get our body loose and our body warm. And then we'll get some stretches going. And so we're going to be doing this for about a minute. And as we do this, I'm going to show you a couple of lifts that we'll be doing here today. And the first is going to be a hip extension. And then what do you know? We're going to do some more high knees, except it'll be a resisted high knee. And then some hip adduction, excuse me. And we're going to do some leaning glute squats and some regular squats, a couple lunges, and then finally we are going to finish out with some leg extensions. So all right, we got our high knees out of the way. Let's move into some body weight squats. And for this, I want you to put your arms straight out in front of you, and then you're just going to drop down and then raise right back up. And use those hands as kind of a counterbalance here. Now, as we do these, I want you really pushing your heel into the ground and then lifting off of that. You shouldn't have your heels off the ground and leaning forward. That would be a bad position because it puts a lot of pressure on both your ankle, your knees, and then your lower back. So a few more of these here. Nice. All right. So next, you can grab onto your Bowflex, do what you need, because we're going to move into this leg pull, which is going to stretch out our quads here. And then it also stretches out our ankles a little bit. So grab on if you need something to hold on to, or you can balance on one leg if you need. Let's switch sides. All right, nice. Now we're going to do some side squats. Spread your legs out, and then I like putting my hands kind of in front of me, and then I'm going to just go side to side. This is great for loosening up our hips here. And as I do these, I like to try to go just a little bit further down each time. How low can you go? All right, nice. So next, we're going to go into a lunge or a yoga-inspired pose here. And it's going to be a lunge position here, and then raise your hands up here above your head. This would be a warrior pose in yoga. Actually, a warrior would be like this here. I like bringing my hands up above my head though. Now let's switch sides here and do the other leg out in front. We got another 10 seconds of this. And then the last exercise, this is going to be totally up to you. Do what you need today. And maybe that's some torso twist, or a forward fold, or just some saucers to loosen up your neck. I'm going to hold this forward fold though until the time ticks out. All right, nice. So let's go ahead and rack up our resistance. Now, our first lift is going to be a tough one, and we're going to start out with a low resistance for that. And so I'm going to start out with just 80 pounds of power rods here for a hip extension. So that's why we call the heavyweight setting 80 pounds. Medium, I would say 50, and a lightweight, I would try 30 pounds. You might need to go to 20 pounds, depends where you're at. So let me rack up my resistance here. And then let's check out our first lift. So this is going to be a hip extension here. And again, if you have the ankle straps, go ahead and just clip on in. What I'm going to do is my outer foot here, I'm going to basically open up this handle and then shove this outer foot right through it. And I like having it kind of around my shoe here. And then I like having my inner foot resting against the platform. And all I'm going to do from here on out is then just extend this hip and that foot out wide. Basically take it as far as it'll go. And so you can't get quite the full range of motion because the length of the cables, but take it out as far as you can take it. And maybe that's not even the full length of the cable. That's all right. So let's get in position here. Let's do some hip extensions. 25 seconds of work here. And you can see me holding on to the Bowflex just for balance. All right, so that's our first lift. And what we're going to do here is now unhook that foot, and then we're just going to spin around, and we're going to do the exact same lift, but for the other leg. So open up the handle and stick your foot right through. And then when the clock hits 0, we're going to extend. And you can have a slight bend in your knee if needed. Just stay in control. All right, so we're just going to run back those 2 exercises, and you can adjust the weight as needed. Right now, I'm going to keep mine the same here. And when this clock hits 0, we're going to kick it out again. So we got 5 seconds. Let's get in position. Now let's extend. Here we go. Exhale as you kick that leg out wide. Almost there. All right, nice. Now let's switch sides again. Last set of hip extensions here. This is a tough one. And once you're done with hip extensions, I always find if I'm climbing some stairs or stepping over something, you gotta be really deliberate, and because your legs might not lift as high as you might think. All right, let's go. Now these hip extensions, this is a really good move for extending your stride length. Opening up those hips can be great for athletes or just everyday people too. You know, open up those hips can, if you play sports at all, maybe help you jump a little bit higher, help you, you know, increase your stride length when running or jogging. Great exercise there. So we need to add a little bit more resistance. I'm going to basically add another 30 pounds of resistance to my Bowflex right now. So I'm increasing my weight by about 20%. I guess 30%. And we're going to get into our resisted high knee. And for this, I need my chair here. And then I am going to put my foot through the handle. And then basically, I'm going to then pull this foot towards the top of the chair here. Just like this. This is just like those high knees we started out with today. But with a little bit of weight introduced to the lift. So for this, next lift is going to be a hip adduction. So for this, what you're going to do is keep your foot in that handle here. And we're just going to walk out to this chair here. And I'm going to be standing right next to it. And you can see I've got a lot of resistance trying to pull this foot out. And we're going to let that resistance go. And then we're just going to pull this foot in towards the midsection. All right, nice. So we got a little bit longer of a rest period here. And basically, we're just going to switch to the other leg. I'm going to take this time to get a little bit of water here. And let's get set up for another resisted high knee. So open up that handle, put your other foot through it. And then we're going to get in position here. All right, team, let's go in 3, 2, 1. Bring that knee up. Now I like to slowly release the weight. That adds a bit more difficulty there. If you really slowly release the weight, your body has to control it a little bit longer, increases what's called your time under tension. All right, so we've got another hip adduction here. And so this, again, you're going out to your chair here, and then you're just going to pull this weight in towards your midsection here. Now for these, I find I can do a little bit more weight, pulling the weight in, than kicking it out. right, there we go. So now we are just going to do the other side one more time. So we've got 8 lifts down. We're a third of the way through this routine. We're going to do some more resisted high knees into hip adduction. And take a nice breather here. Let's get our head in the game. Get in position. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Let's raise those knees up. All right, so keep your foot in the handle here. And then again, we're just going to be sliding out here. For some hip adduction, pulling that weight in towards your body. Here we go. All right, another extended break here where we're gonna run our other foot through the cable and then get back in position. Now I know we're starting out with lots of hip and kind of like thigh type of work. Next, after this, we're gonna be doing a couple squat variants, and it's gonna be really quite different from these exercises here. So got that to look forward to. So again, let's get in position for those high knees. And we're going to be starting here in 5 seconds. Raise those knees nice and high. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Raise them up. All right, one more set of hip adduction. So just adjust that handle, keep it on the same foot. We're gonna be going here in 10 more seconds. Stand up nice and tall, maybe lean up against that chair a little if you need to, and then we're just pulling this weight in. All right, let's work. All right, nice. We got another break period here. Got a full minute. And so we're going to be done with this chair. You can just set this wherever you want. And you know, take a breather, take a moment to yourself. It is, y'all do that. I'm going to start showing you the next lift here. And this is going to be called a leaning glute squat. I don't really know the actual name for this. It's kind of like a deadlift, I guess. What we're going to be doing here is leaning back, and I've got my feet positioned about a foot away from the tower, and I'm holding the handles. I'm going to hold it actually in a hammer grip here up towards my body, and then I'm going to sit down and then stand up. So this is kind of a body weight squat, except I'm actually going to be shooting backwards too. So it's not going straight up and down. You want to go up at an angle like this. And so I feel this in my quads and my glutes, and also a little bit around my knees. All right, nice. So that is I'm calling it the leaning glute squat. If you got a better name for the lift, post it in the comments. And we're going to do another one of those right now. We got 35 seconds between each of these sets here. A little bit of time to recover, but not too much. Keeping this a bit of a cardio workout. All right, let's lean back and stand up. Now you don't want to be putting your back into this lift at all here. And if you're feeling any pain in your knees, I'm going to show you a different lift to do coming up right after this. All right. So that's our leaning glute squat. And we'll come back around to that again. If that's not working for you, I want you to fill in with a normal squat, which is what we'll be doing right up next here. And so for this, I'm going to put my feet at the base of the Bowflex, kind of up against the tower. And then I'm going to bring these handles up to about shoulder height. And then I'm going to squat down and then stand up. Nice, okay. So if you need an alternate lift in here, this is going to be a calf raise, and for this, you'd be on the end of the platform and then just dropping down and raising up. So keep that in mind. But for everybody else, I want you to just keep following along with me. And that next lift is going to be a lunge. So for this, it's called a step back lunge. We're going to alternate feet here, stepping back and then up. And you can pull the hands up high here for a little bit more difficulty. Put them at your shoulders. Or you can keep them down low like this. And it's more of a body weight lunge. Do what works for you here. Whew. So these are tough. We're at another 35 seconds of rest. Catch your breath. And I might be going into the leaning glute squat. Again, you do some calf raises or some normal squats if you weren't finding a good position here. So again, leaning back about a foot away from the platform, and then we just stand up here. Ten more seconds. Excellent. One more of those leaning glute squats. You can see I got a nice sweat going here. It's a beginner workout, but you know, all these workouts, you can adjust the difficulty level simply by adjusting the weight setting. So while these are kind of shorter intervals, you know, if you rack up more weight, you could come at this as a pretty advanced lifter and still struggle with this routine. Nice. Way to go. 2 more lifts like this before another break time. And that was lift number 18. So you're almost to the end. 75% through. Stick with it. All right, so squats for me, you can do squats, you can do calf raises. Both of them work here. Here we go. And again, pay attention to your form. You don't want to be leaning over. Push into those heels. All right, 1 more lift to go before break time. For me, that's going to be some lunges. How we feeling out there? Hope you're feeling good. You know, leg day is not something I used to be into. All right, let's get ready for lunges and I'll tell you about it. All right, step back. I was always one of those people that was like, I get my leg workout through running or through cycling, but now I have a lot more respect for leg lifts. And I hope this routine gives you some more respect for it. All right, let's get our leg extension plugged in here, and then we can drink some water. Oh, we also have to run our pulleys here, connect them on. To the leg extension here. All right, just a little time to spare here. And now leg extension, this is really intuitive. You're just gonna sit down here and kick those legs out. So everybody join me here. Let's extend them out. Now leg extension always feels easy to me in the first set, but then the longer I go, the harder it feels. And it almost feels like impossible to finish. So we're gonna be doing 4 of those in a row. But anyways, as I was saying, respect for leg day. So your legs, they are some big muscles. Biggest muscle groups in your body are going to be your quads and your glutes. And by really toning and strengthening those muscles, it's actually going to help you a lot in terms of weight control, because the more weight, the more muscle mass you have on your body, the higher your metabolic rate is going to be, which means that's how many calories you burn at rest, because your body is going to have to burn more calories to maintain that muscle. And so by really strengthening those legs, it's going to help with weight control. And another thing it's going to help out with is going to be your joint health. So, all these lifts, we're bending our knees, we're bending our ankles, and by doing this really controlled resistance training, it's going to strengthen the tendons and the ligaments in those joints. So now you don't want to overdo it. You got to work your way into resistance training, and that's why these routines are only 20 minutes. All right, here, let's go. Let's extend. Feeling a lot more difficulty now. So as I was saying, the stronger ligaments and tendons, that is great for injury prevention. So leg day is going to help you stay on target for, you know, if you jog a lot or if you walk a lot, and hopefully have fewer injuries through that. So all right, let's get mentally there for this last set. All right, let's go, everybody. So injury prevention, another part of this is, you know, not overtraining initially and putting too much weight on or working the same muscle groups over and over. And for that, I will, hopefully by the time you're watching this, I'll have workout programs that are available through a Patreon account or for purchase. So if you're not sure how to, you know, progress through all these different workouts on the channel, please check that out. There'll be links in the description for that. So anyways, you just completed 24 sets of leg work. Great job. And before you wrap things up, don't forget to remove your power rods from tension. So again, great job. I'm proud of you for finishing this workout. And you know, you could show me a little love by giving this video a like, commenting below, and then also check out that Patreon account if you're interested in some workout programs to help you progress through all these videos. So as always, thank you for watching. Be good to yourself and be good to others.